want to show you this banana tree. Banana trees. Look at that thing. It's freaking huge. It's just growing like crazy. It was smaller than that one. I'm gonna turn this camera around real quick so you can see. I'm gonna explain to you what I've been doing to make these things grow.
All right, so if you see there, I mean, just look at that thing. It is awesome. These banana trees are fantastic. This right here, if you can see, there's like eggshells and peaches and food and stuff like that thrown in here. This is like our slow roasting compost pile. So this is where I throw a lot of the stuff. It's all a bunch of leaves everywhere and everything. So I just let these things just soak up all those composting nutrients. And what happens is these love it. We actually threw away pumpkins last year, and look at all these crazy pumpkins. They're going everywhere. They're terracing up all of this fencing right here and everything. When we step over here, you can see the banana tree, the third banana tree that is under here, and it's still growing. It's doing great. We're probably gonna cut back a couple of these pumpkins just to let this thing grow a little better. But it is doing fantastic. And look at all these pumpkins. The pumpkins are just going crazy. We actually threw the pumpkins in the compost pile and they just started coming up like crazy, and they were growing just awesome. But things are going extremely well for these bananas here in Alabama. You know, it's kind of crazy because people are like, oh no, you can't grow bananas in Alabama. Well, look at this. This thing is freaking amazing. It will make it just fine through the winter. We're gonna build up a lot of this mulch right here. So we have our fast going mulch right here, which mulches, and then we plant different elements, vegetables and things like that with. So we have that going right there. This was actually sold to me for about 25 bucks. I think they are online, probably new, a little bit more expensive than that, but it works great. I've been throwing grass clippings and all of our food and stuff like that in there. And then over here, this is our slow going, so I've been throwing other things just here and now in this one. So that's keeping those fed. And then this right here is going to be my food for my vegetables. There's Blizzard. She is just an awesome dog. Look how big that tree is compared to her. Here soon she's going to be basking in or sitting in the shade, and it's going to be awesome. But lots of great things. Let me show you the peaches. Guys, just to kind of show you how everything's developing, you see all the elderberries coming up. They're doing great. The hibiscus are actually flowering right now. Check out the apple trees, doing great. The comfrey's coming up like crazy. We got potatoes growing every now and then. Oh, there's some potatoes and some asparagus. The asparagus is shooting up and starting to take off, doing really great. The pineapple guavas are growing. We've got a goji berry in there. It's not doing so well, but I think it'll come back and start owning it. We have all of the pink lemonade blueberries. I mean, all of this stuff we got growing here. And it's growing. This is the first year, guys. The first year, and we've hardly done anything. The aronia berries are actually coming to life. All sorts of things, and the apricots are doing extremely well. Let me show you these peaches. Oh, and we started a rose right here on contour with the land. This is a border right here. We're gonna plant a bunch of different plants inside the border, and we're gonna take it all the way around the house. It is slow in progress, but it is coming along. We are gonna start doing that here soon. But this right here, this is awesome. So we started planting in these rows. We just planted about a week ago, and we got sprouts coming up. Let's see what's over here. We got beans, different bush beans coming up on the ends. I did beans on the ends. And let's see if there's any in this row right here. Oh, I think that's a melon or type of watermelon or something's popping up right there. And here's some bush beans. They're gonna do extremely awesome. So we got some things coming along. Look at that rosemary. Over here we have a ton of grass. We have a grass infiltration. I mean, look at this crazy amount of grass. And what happened was we wood chipped this area just a little bit too late, and the grass took over. You got to wood chip at the right time. So we got a lot of grass, and I've been trying to kill it off, but at the same time, it's all right. Grass is all right. You know what grass is going to do? It's going to provide a bunch of biomass for us to for us to use as material to create more soil and beautiful soil. So what we're gonna do is come through here and we're gonna clip all this grass back, and we are going to start using it for mulching material. We got blueberries. Look at these peaches on here on this tree. We just planted this peach tree this year, and it is just awesome, loaded down with peaches. We will get to pick some of those. They're getting bigger and softer here soon. These peach trees are huge. We planted them and they've grown like 5 feet. I mean, look at this one. I can't even touch the top of this one. This one has literally grown 5 feet tall. It is just a massive peach tree. And we're gonna be pruning it the way that we want it, of course, this year, but it is just doing amazing. It is growing so great right now. And we just planted it. I mean, we just planted the dang thing. Just like in February, we planted these. And they're just like 4 or 5 months later, they're just taking off. And so it's just fantastic to have all these. Here's an apple tree.
And you know, it's just awesome to see how everything is growing, and you don't even have to hardly do anything. You just plant it and wood chip it and forget it, you know, and it just starts to grow. And you can come out here and maintain it and do whatever you want to it, but you don't have to. It's just the greatest thing ever. I haven't watered anything except for I watered right here on the rows to get all the seeds started, and that's the last time I watered. And you know, if it doesn't water for a couple of weeks, yeah, I'm gonna come in here and water these plants, but they don't need it. All this wood chip ground around it's gonna allow for that water, for those plants to get water, because it keeps water. And all I did to make these rows right here was I just raked back the wood chips on the bottom side, and which produced a little bit of a mound on the bottom side. So if you see that mound right there, and what I did, got down to the dirt, and then I put, you know, a compost mixture to plant into, and then I planted. And you know, the only reason I put the compost mixture to plant into is because, you know, I've only been doing this for less than a year, so my soil isn't quite up to where I'd like it to be. So I jump-started it by putting, you know, some compost and such in. But which I'll be adding minerals and adding compost to the soil. But soon it will be compost that I make, not compost that I get from an outside source. So, you know, to start things off, yeah, you know, use what you can. It's there, you might as well use it. But you know what, later on, once you get into the groove of things and everything's working properly and functioning amazingly, you don't have to do that. You can use your own stuff, and everything recycles. That's what sustainability is all about. Everything comes from what's on the property, and that's what we're doing here. We are working this neighborhood yard into a sustainable fashion. Look, it's not difficult. It doesn't require 400 hours of work. It doesn't require 25 people to do so. It hardly requires anybody and any attention to do so. You initially do some labor, you set it up correctly, and you don't have to worry about it forever. You don't have to worry about it. And it's fantastic. It just seems to work. I mean, look at this apricot. It's just going crazy. Apricots grow so weird. Like, look at that one. It's just crazy looking, the way it's growing. But, you know, this time next year, we'll have some apricots to eat. We'll probably have some apples off of the big apple tree here on the side of the yard. But, you know, this is my front yard, guys. Look, there's neighbors around. It's right in the middle of a neighborhood. And I know they don't like this because they are grass fanatics. Everybody's so obsessed with grass. It's the weirdest thing in the world. I don't understand why everybody's so obsessed with grass. Because they have to spend so much money and time and labor and effort just to make it work. It doesn't do anything for you except for look okay, I guess. But when you invest just a little bit of time into a yard like this, and you're gonna have food for a lifetime, and that's the beauty of it. We're gonna have josta berries, we're gonna have strawberries. I mean, the strawberries are over here. We got strawberry patches all around this oak tree. I mean, just awesome. Guess what, guys? Coming up tomorrow, I am starting a 7-day fast, a 7-day fast on reishi mushroom. And the tincture that I made, I'm gonna be doing shots of the tincture, and I'm gonna be doing reishi mushroom. And the only thing that I'm gonna take that's not a part of my yard is my coffee. It's a mushroom coffee. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I don't have my Yaupon hollies in yet. But I'm gonna get my Yaupon hollies planted. I'm gonna have about 10 Yaupon hollies planted around the yard so that when they start to get bigger and better and everything like that, I can start to get my own caffeine source. I won't have to get it from somewhere else. So there are sources in North America of caffeine that you can get, and it is called Yaupon holly. It is a relative of yerba mate, okay? It's like a sister plant of yerba mate, but for North America. You don't eat the berries, you eat the leaves, and you feel great. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. But I'm gonna be making it into like a coffee-like mixture. So I'm gonna have my, mushrooms growing. I'm gonna mix my mushroom and coffee together, or mushroom and Yaupon hollies together. And I'm gonna make my own mixture from my land where I don't have to get coffee. I'm slowly working into that actual sustainability, guys, real sustainability, where all of my food comes from here, at least most of it. You know, if you gotta go, like right now I'm a part of, you might have seen the projects on the website on sacredprojects.com. One of the projects is the Healing Center and the Pelham Organic Farm and stuff like that, and it's one of the community growing permaculture design spots that we're doing. And I get a box from her every 2 weeks of vegetables and everything else. And here soon I'm gonna be trying to include honey in that and different things like that, so you can get things from your community gardens or neighbors and everything like that. But if the majority of what you're eating is coming from your land and you're just accenting things with other people's food that grow in your local area, man, that is the way to be right there. We can all help each other out and do the right things, and become sustainable within our own communities. That's how you evolve into true health. That's how you get to a point where, you not only feel fantastic, but disease is not a part of your life. Your thoughts are extremely clear. Everything just seems to work, and you start to develop this intense feeling of love for everyone, and you start to realize that, nature is sacred. My life is sacred. Your life is sacred. Everyone's life is sacred. And we need to start paying attention to each other, and we need to start paying attention to this world and how everything is and how it reacts and how it all works. Because, we're all in it together, guys. We're all in it on this journey together. And the better we can make it for each other, and the better everything's gonna be. So we start to understand that the way things were created was, and it was all designed in that purpose for us to choose love for one another. And we can make the choice not to do so. That's the beauty of it. We can make that choice, but it's true love when you actually have the ability to make the choice to choose it, to make the choice to love somebody rather than to not love them or to do something otherwise. That is true love. Without the choice of free will, without free will, love does not exist, because you cannot willfully choose it. That is why bad things exist in this world. It's because we can willfully choose to do good, or we can willfully choose to do bad. And the only way love can exist is with that choice. So, guys, let's choose to love. Let's choose to know that all life is sacred. Thank you for joining me with Sacred Projects, and tune in for the reishi mushroom fast. I've actually got a friend that I believe is gonna be doing it with me. I don't know, but if he does, it's gonna be fantastic. So we're gonna do it, and I'm gonna film it, and it's gonna be great. Thanks.